Everdale was a game loved by many people across the globe. It was not your typical Supercell game, with a far more relaxed and cozy environment compared to the typical PvP style we tend to see from Supercell. The community loved these aspects of the game, and it was really refreshing to dive into something so new and unique. Everdale first appeared in September of 2020 in the app stores under the alias of Valleys and Villages. Supercell ran this alpha test using an alternate company called Osmium Interactive. They did this to avoid the usual influx of people flooding to every single Supercell game and to get a more genuine response from the community. The overall feedback on the game after this alpha test was very positive, so this is when we saw Supercell step up and take credit for the game, and Everdale was born. The game then progressed into beta on August 21st, 2021. Through the beta, we saw many updates to the game, refining key features and implementing new ideas the development team had come up with. Some of these updates brought features like sending gifts, the removal of reputation decay, valley events, new resources, items, buildings, and much more. The community felt as a whole that these updates were taking the game in the right direction. However, myself, along with many other members of the community, had lots of ideas that we felt would really help to take the game to the next level. Sadly, not many of these ideas actually got noticed, and the community was left feeling rather deflated when the developers introduced a limited time event called Summer of Friends. This event gave players the ability to earn 1,000 gems per player that joined through their invitation link. This then had a huge knock-on effect on the economy of the game. With so many gems now being in circulation, players were able to progress at a rather alarming rate. This brought about a lot of questions as to why this decision was made by the team, and people started to wonder if this was a last attempt to push the game before it got killed. So when Supercell announced the end of Everdale's development, we were all absolutely heartbroken. This was a game that so many had found happiness in and played every single day. This was a game that had given me a real chance at pursuing a career in content creation. This was a game I don't think we will see the likes of again. In their announcement they said, "It became clear to us that Everdale does not meet our ambitions for a Supercell game. Supercell as a company holds the highest standards when it comes to their games, with some huge names like Clash of Clans and Brawl Stars being played all over the world by millions of people. It's understandable why they want to continue pushing out the highest quality games they can." Sadly though, Everdale was added to the ever-growing graveyard of Supercell games. However, all this heartbreak would not last long, with the huge news a few months later that Metacore, another company based in Finland, had taken over the development of Everdale. This was the first time in Supercell's history that they had allowed another company to take over development of a game that they had deemed not worthy of the Supercell standards. In a statement released by Supercell, they said, "We feel confident in transferring ownership of Everdale to the hands of Metacore's highly talented team. They will explore the game with fresh eyes and investigative minds to see what kind of building blocks the game consists of and what should or shouldn't be changed for improvements so that the game would meet the players' and Metacore's expectations." Later in this statement, we also learned that Metacore have already started work on the game. And in a statement of their own, Metacore go into a little more detail about the processes they are going through to develop the game. The key points from this are that they are recreating the game from the ground up as a free-to-play mobile game based on building and team play. That means that Metacore will use a lot of the same art, but will also generate new features and gameplay as they see fit. In a later interview with Metacore's CEO, Mika Tamenkoski, he said, "We hold an extremely high bar for our games, which is why we can't say for sure whether Everdale will ever become a live game project. But our hope is that we can continue to strengthen the imaginative world that has already been built. This also offers a unique opportunity to truly test our game development process and see how it can be applied to existing games." We know that Metacore are listening to feedback from the community, as in March of this year they put out a survey open to the public looking for feedback on the game and asking many questions about different directions they could potentially take. Metacore then reached out to a few members selected from the community for an interview going into more detail about what we would like to see from the game. Since these interviews though, they have been radio silent. Myself, along with many other members of the community, have sent emails, but they all get the same very generic response. At the moment, there is no news regarding a launch date for Everdale. You can rest assured though that our team is working on it. You see, the team here will be working on a new iteration of Everdale, so it's really hard to have a sense of when the game is going to be ready to share with you. We're going to try our best, but given how difficult it is to make a successful game, we are keen to stress that we cannot guarantee that things will work out. So the hope for the Everdale community is that we will see the game rise from the ashes once again and be given the opportunity to play a game that we all fell in love with. But the sad reality is, all of this power now lies in the hands of Metacore, who are the ones who will make this final decision if the game deserves a second chance. Regardless of the outcome, I will keep you all informed of any news on the future of Everdale, and until the next time, I'll see you later.